Hey, my name's Joe Gilder. I'm changing things up today. I'm actually going to play a song for you at the end of the video. What is going on? I'm just feeling like, having done this for almost 17 years now, I just feel the freedom to kind of do whatever comes to me and whatever feels the most valuable and useful in the moment. By the way, if you didn't know, this channel is now a podcast. With the one big asterisk, it's working on Apple Podcasts. It apparently has not been working on Spotify podcasts for a really long time. So my apologies. I didn't realize it wasn't working. Working on getting that resolved. I'm working with Spotify. So if you use Apple Podcasts, it's working there. So if you like to listen to podcasts while you drive, exercise, things like that, mow the yard, you can access these episodes there, which has kind of been in case you didn't notice, it's been a bit of a pivot over the last 8 months or so of moving into this little bit longer form, a little bit more podcast-ish content, because I think that's the most valuable way to go, and I'm rolling with it because I'm having fun with it, which is really all any of us can do. Am I right? Today, I want to my goal for you by the end of this video or the end of this episode is for you to feel excited, inspired, a little bit nervous, and a little bit challenged. Fair? Okay. I'm going to push you a little bit out of your comfort zone, and hopefully this will kick off a series of events for you that will end up creating that thing we talked about last week, this beautiful thing called momentum. If you don't have it, you really want it. And once you've got it, you want to hang on to it because it's a powerful, powerful concept. So we'll get to that in a second. What I want to talk about today are specifically 5 excuses you might be making for why you're not making the music that you want to make. Now, I right out of the gate, I said this last week too, I'm not coming at this from a place of shame. I could care less if you make music or not. That's not something that whether you make music or not really doesn't affect me. But I do care about you, and I do know if you're watching this, there's a part of you, part of your heart, that just longs to create and longs to build a body of work and longs to connect both with yourself and with your audience and other musicians over this art that you've created. And maybe you're feeling like there's a lot of roadblocks in the way. We covered some of that last week. I want to cover more today. Specifically, I'm going to prove to you why most of the excuses that you have about why you're not making music, we can just set them aside. We can say, I don't need you today because I can move forward. Even if that excuse is true, even if it's a real problem that's in the way, I can still move forward. I don't have to actually deal with it or eliminate it before I get into it. So what am I talking about? Well, let me just imagine that I said to you, hey, I need you to release a song this week. What excuses automatically pop in your head? I want to go through the 5 most common ones that I think are happening in your mind right now. And by the way, you don't have to release a song by the end of the week, but I will have a specific challenge for you to do at the end of this video, so stick around. The first thing you might say is, Joe, I hear you. You want me to release a song this week? I just don't have time. I don't have time to produce a full song in a week. Just no way I have time. My solution to that problem is do less. What do you mean? When I say release a song, you maybe have it in your head of it's this fully produced, polished thing. It requires you to record a bunch of instruments, record a bunch of vocal takes, do a bunch of vocal comping, do a bunch of vocal tuning, and then mixing is going to take hours and hours and hours to get it to the finish line. If that's the case, and that's a reasonable, like that, there is a lot involved in a fully produced tune, I would say just do less. What if you didn't fully produce the song? What if it was just you and an instrument? What if it was just a guitar vocal or a piano vocal? What if you just performed it live like a musician does? And then that was the thing that you released. You see how that's doing less? It's more pressure for sure, but generally speaking, this isn't going to be everybody, but most of us got into home studio music production because we were first musicians who love to play and to perform. So even if you're a little bit rusty on the performance side, that's a part of who you are as a musician. So tap into it. Maybe just do a single one-take performance of a song and put it out there. Do less. Yes, you can fully produce another song later. What if you just did the smallest, the minimal amount of effort into creating something and then put it out there? What would happen? Second excuse you might give me is, well, Joe, that sounds nice, but I'm still in the learning phase. I'm still learning how to produce, how to use this software, where all the buttons are, where all the menus are, how to do every single different feature. My answer to that would be the same as the first one. Just do less. If you only do, like I said, a simple guitar vocal, you don't really need to know how to do everything else. If you can get audio on a channel, you pretty much are almost all the way there. Slap an EQ on there if you need it, call it done. Put a limiter on there at the end, call it done. You don't have to know every single step along the way. And if you say, Joe, I don't understand how to use a limiter, just put a limiter on there, turn it up until it's roughly as loud as the stuff you listen to on Spotify, Apple Music. Good enough for now. Point being, yes, there is a whole host of things to learn. You could take one of my courses, you could take all of my courses and spend hours with me, hours and hours with me, and I can show you the path forward, and that's all well and good. But I'd say hold off on that for a week and just record something. Just record using the skills that you have right now. Yes, you're going to learn more skills. Yes, that's valuable. Yes, of course. Let's all learn and get better. But what if we just recorded and made some music using what we have right now? I've told you the story of my very first album when I was in high school. You can see it over there, that white plastic microphone. That's not a real mic. It's like the plastic one that came with the computer. Did a whole album on that thing. Is it good? No. Was it an amazing experience? Yes, absolutely. Can you do that given whatever equipment you have in front of you? Yes. And that includes everyone watching this, I promise. I'll talk about that here in a little bit. All right, third excuse. You might say, Joe, I have a skill issue. I really need to put in more reps. I need to put in more practice before I can really do this. Okay, I hear you. But I would say if your goal is to improve and to get better, one of the best ways to improve and to get better is to do the thing, is to put in a rep. We talk about this. I just got off doing one of my 5-day challenges last week. And one of the things we talk about on the last day is this idea of you only get better by putting in the reps and doing lots and lots of reps. Not lots and lots of starting, not lots and lots of working a song up to halfway and then abandoning it to move on to another one because starting is easier than finishing, but actually going through the whole process. If you haven't done that in a while, if you haven't released anything in a while or ever, the best way to get better is to do that. And since we're talking about, we don't have a lot of time, we're still learning how to do things, just do the simplest version you can think of. We can get to the more advanced versions later down the line. Let's get some momentum going and then ride that into the more complicated stuff. But for now, let's keep it as simple as possible. You don't need a huge skill set to put a microphone in front of your face and sing and play, like I'm going to do here in a little bit. And I'm a little nervous about it because I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to do a bunch of takes. I'm going to just perform it like I'm sitting here doing a live performance at the NAMM show, and I'm going to play a song at the end. That's how this is going to go. I'm a little nervous. I need a sip of coffee. Okay. So those are 3 excuses. What's the 4th excuse you might say? Joe, I don't have all the gear yet. I don't have enough gear. I don't have the right gear. I'm just figuring this out. I only have XYZ. I really need ABC. And until I have ABC, I can't make music. I would question, do you have one of these things that I've got in my pocket? Of course, I can't get to my pocket now. By the way, I was sitting here earlier playing guitar, and my wife comes up and says, you've been opening and closing the trunk in the car for the last half hour. Apparently, the remote was in my pocket. The guitar was pushing the trunk. She's like, that dude's crazy. Anyway, if you own one of these things, I'm holding up my phone. It's just a regular iPhone. This is the cheap one, the C, or it used to be SE. Anyway, it only has one camera. It doesn't have multiple lenses on there. If you just have a phone or a computer with a webcam, but especially if you have a phone, I would imagine the majority of people watching this right now are watching on a phone. Guess what? You got something you can use to release something into the world. Because you could just record a video of you playing and singing said song. No DAW has to even be involved to just get this momentum going. Like, what if you just recorded a video of yourself playing a song and put it out there? I would say, some people would argue with me, I would say that counts as a release. You record a song and put it on YouTube, put it on Instagram, whatever platform you're on, Facebook. That's a release. And there's this thing that happens when you do it. You put it out. First of all, you have to go through the whole stuff that happens in your brain when you decide to put it out, to get yourself to the point of actually doing the thing, making the thing, then being okay with putting it out there. And then you're saying to the world, hey, world, I made this thing. Would you like to listen? And most people in the world won't ever hear it, right? Because that's the way things work. But your friends and family and people that you know and follow you will hear it. And some of them will say, hey, this is great. Some of them will say, oh, this is great. You should do more of this. You may also get some negative, like, oh, this is terrible. Don't quit your day job, whatever. Because there's mean people on the internet. But I will say, from my experience, I've been doing this for 17 years, this YouTube channel specifically. For every one mean comment that I get, there are probably 100 nice comments. It's probably even more. It's probably 1 in 1,000 are truly mean, because if you put out kindness into the world, it tends to come back to you. Not perfectly, but in a lot of ways. So don't let that hold you back. But to me, that right there, a simple phone recording of you just playing a song is releasing something the way I see it in my mind, because it creates that feedback you get from them, that feeling of pride you have of putting something out, even if it's not perfect, even if you could have done better, whatever. You put out an imperfect piece of art, and then what happens internally? If you've done this before, you know what I'm talking about. If you've never done it before, let me tell you what it's like. You put it out there, and you probably, if you're at my maturity level, you probably maybe obsessively check to see if people are listening to it and checking for comments. If you're more mature, you probably just check once a day or every other day. But you start to get this excitement and you think, man, that was really fun. I created something, I put it out into the world, and some people responded to it. And you will likely say inside your mind, I'd like to do that again. You know what that is? That's the momentum thing we've been talking about. You're feeling it just a little bit. And that could be enough to get you down the road and get you on the way to doing some bigger and bigger and bigger things that you really want to do. But let's start with the lowest barrier to entry and just be creative musicians. And then we can eventually make more proper, quote unquote, whatever that even means, music. You may find something you record on your phone might be the most beautiful, most successful thing you ever make. I don't know. It could happen, right? By the way, the microphones on these are getting surprisingly good. So even that's not really an excuse anymore. All right. So the fifth excuse you might have is like, Joe, I was with you up until I went to think about what would I record. And I thought, I don't have any songs. I haven't written any songs in a long time, or I don't have any songs that I feel like I want to record. I don't have a song. Sorry, I don't get to do this challenge that you're giving us. But here's the rub. There are approximately 1 bajillion songs already out there. It's called a cover song. Pick one of your favorite songs. Pick a song. If you ever played any gigs and you played some covers, pick one of those. Or just pick a song you love. A song that you find yourself playing on your guitar always. Or like the other day, I was riding in the car with my daughters. My twins are 13. And they were like, what's your favorite song, Dad? And I was like, you know what? If you ask me in this moment, she was on my phone, she was going to play some music, and she sweetly wanted to know what I wanted to listen to. What a sweet girl. She said, what's your favorite song right now? And I said, I think the song that I never skip and always many times moves me to the point of tears, but at least I want to listen to it all the way through, is a song called I Got a Name by Jim Croce. If you don't know it, I'm actually going to play it here in just a minute. It's just a sweet song about I got a name, I got a song, and I got a dream. Those are the 3 verses. And as a musician, just that idea of I'm somebody, and I want to carry my name proud, and I've got a song, and I want to carry the song well, and I've got a dream, and I want to pursue that dream well. Is there a better song out there? Of course. But that was my choice. And so I'm going to instead of just telling you, here's what I think you should do, and then you go on and do it, I'm going to lead by example. I'm going to do it myself. So obviously I've got the camera running right now. I'm going to play this song, and I'm going to cut that out of this video and post it on my Instagram. I might post it here as a YouTube short as well, if it'll let me, but I'll put links below so you can go find it if you're interested. But I don't even care if you listen to it. I want you to know that I'm doing the thing too. Because it's one thing to say, hey, go do this. Trust me, it's a good idea. And for me to be like, hey, do this. I'm going to do it too. Because I will tell you, I was supposed to make this video a couple of hours ago. And then I had this idea of doing the song too. And then I grabbed a guitar and I tuned it and I tried to figure out how I'm going to play this song. I've played it before, but how do I want to perform it for this thing? And it just put me in a creative place. It put me in the state of flow. It put me in a place where I lost track of time. and I was apparently opening the trunk to the car the whole time. And I love being in that place. That's a place where musicians go regularly. And even though I get to do this for a living, I have days, sometimes weeks or more at a time, where I'm just doing the thing of running this business, but I'm not actually sitting down with an instrument and playing music. That's why I moved this keyboard back closer so I can have it on and ready to go so I can just play. It's within arm's reach. There's almost no friction, except I still don't have it powered up or plugged in. So right now it's not doing anything, but I'm moving in that direction. But there's something, we've all experienced it, something where you're in the middle of playing a piece of music, especially if you're preparing to perform in front of people. There's this thing that happens. Your brain goes to a place and you get lost. And I told myself a few months ago, I want to spend more time getting lost in something, whether that's something with work that I'm super into, working with clients, which I'm really into right now, or working on music. Like I want the bulk of my time to be in those kind of zones where I lose track of time. Can't find my phone. It's over there. But like if my phone was in the other room, I wouldn't even know because I'm not checking social media. I'm just here and I'm engaged in something meaningful and something beautiful. So here's the challenge. Give yourself an hour. Get out your calendar. Find an hour on your schedule. Maybe one evening this week. Maybe you can find an hour on Saturday. Whatever. Give yourself an hour to get your instrument out, figure out what song you're going to record, practice through it a few times, and then record yourself playing it. And then post it. That's the challenge. Now, you could do it, like I said, you could just do it on your phone. I happen to have a camera running, so I'm just going to do it now. That's the simplest version for me. If you don't already have a camera rig set up, then I recommend just take your phone, put the front-facing camera on, even though it's the lesser quality camera, prop it up in front of you somewhere, and play the song. And put it out there. Share yourself with the world. I have a friend. She's got an amazing voice. She is one of the best voices I've ever heard. And I actually produced an EP for her years ago. She played in a band I put together very briefly. Anyway, but she came over to my house one day and was saying like, hey, can you give me, like, you've been doing this, at the time I'd been running Home Studio Corner for 10 years or so. She was like, can you give me some advice on like what to do as a musician? Like how to build an audience online? And I told her, like, there's lots of ways. I found a little bit of a niche in kind of teaching people how to do the thing that I want to do, but that's not the formula that everybody needs to follow. I would say for you, speaking to her, you've got such an incredible voice, but when I look at your social, I almost never hear your voice. You'll talk about a song that you've released perhaps, but there's never like, you don't pop up in my Instagram feed sitting at a piano playing a song. Just in its rawest form, not super produced, not recorded and edited and mixed, but just like phone propped up in front of you playing guitar and singing. I said, people, I know you probably think that's not a big deal, or maybe even that you probably got this head trash around the idea of like, I don't want to brag about, but that's what people want from you. That's a gift you can give the world, is your musicality, this gift that you received and you've developed into something beautiful. So I told her, like, go and play. Now, I doubt that I was the only person to tell her that, and I doubt I'm not taking responsibility for her, but she's gone on to do some really incredible things, touring with some major artists, and if I go to her Instagram, I will see her playing and singing all the time, and it's delightful, and it's wonderful. Anyway, but if you're feeling like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to put a song out, like, well, you're a musician. If anybody should put out some music, that'd be you. So I say go for it, and it's not going to be perfect. I'm about to perform my song. I'm stalling just a little bit right now, because I need to play this song, and I'm gonna make a mistake at some point. I'm gonna go to the wrong chord. I'm gonna sing the wrong word. I'm gonna be pitchy in places. Whatever, the normal things of a musician. But I'm gonna put it out. I'm not gonna go edit it. I'm not gonna go tune it. I'm not gonna do anything to it, but put it out. If it's a little quiet, I might throw it through a limiter just to get it loud enough. But that's the only thing I'm gonna do, because I want to just get it out into the world. So here's the final kind of bonus thing you might be bumping up against. You might say, but Joe, maybe not everybody suffers with this, but I suffer from what I would call all or nothing syndrome, where if I'm going to put this song on my Instagram, I haven't posted like a post to my Instagram in years. It's not where I've been. I've been here on YouTube. But I'm going to put it over there. And there's this whole thought of like, well, if I do this, now I've got to figure out what the next song is going to be. And I've got to have like a sequence of once a week, I'm posting a new cover of a new song, and it's got to relax. You don't have to have a full plan of your whole life of musical releases just to do this one thing. Is a plan good? Sure. Will you need a plan at some point? Yeah, maybe. Or just be in the moment and do this one song. You can never do another song again, and that's okay. Just give yourself the freedom to let go of the burden of all the, if I do this, then that means I've got to do this and this and this. No, just do this and see how it works. And what you might find, maybe you find, oh, I hated that, Joe. Leave a comment, let me know, that's fine. Or maybe you'll find that was amazing. That made me want to do more of it. One of my clients who just started working with me, one of my private clients, he's got a bunch of songs written. He wants to release an album. He hasn't released an album in several years, and he's a little nervous to just jump in. And so he did a cover. Now, he did more of a fully produced cover, and he said, what should I do next? I said, well, I would finish this and release it before moving on to the next thing because it sounds incredible. You should go for it. Get in that habit of going through the whole process all the way to release. So he's going to actually release it on all the streaming platforms. For you, I've made the barrier even simpler. Just post it on a social platform, whatever you use, Facebook, Instagram, I guess TikTok's a thing, YouTube, whatever. And come back and just leave a comment and let us know how it goes. You can't link to it in the comments. It won't let you post links. But if it came from your YouTube account, leave a comment from that YouTube account so we can click on your profile and go check it out. And if it happened on Instagram, tag me, just Joe Gilder, my name, Joegilder. I'd love to see what you've posted. So without further ado, I'm going to perform a song for you. One of my favorite songs by the late, great Jim Croce. If you don't know Jim's music, great storyteller, songwriter, great songwriter. I grew up listening to him. My dad played his songs for me. So there's a connection piece between me and my dad with his music. But this song I've listened to for my whole life, but it just, maybe being a dad now or just something about this season of life just hits me. So I'm going to perform a song called I Got a Name. And I got to move the mic to about here. Here we go. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Like the pine trees lining the winding road, I've got a name. I've got a name. Like the singing bird and the croaking toad, I've got a name. I've got a name. And I carry it with me like my daddy did. But I'm living a dream that he kept hid. Moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by. Like the north wind whistling down the sky, I've got a song, I've got a song. Like the whippoorwill and the babies cry, I've got a song, I've got a song. And I carry it with me and I sing it loud. If it gets me nowhere, I'll go there proud. Moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by. The fool I am and I'll always be. I've got a dream, I've got a dream. They can change their minds but they can't change me. I've got a dream, I've got a dream. I know I could share it if you want me to, if you're going my way.
listening.